It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Titans and the Steelers coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania at Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Tennessee Titans. The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And we are underway from Heinz Field. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Najee Harris. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. Yeah, baby! Yeah! A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 24 carries, 114 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync. And that bodes well this late in the season.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Trask now looks to throw on first down. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Trask throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Henry out of the pistol. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance.
Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat. Under pressure, Trask, and down he goes. Danico Autry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
And this Tennessee defense for the second straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Throwing, Trask. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Returnable for Grant. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Faking the give. Now Watson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. A 1st down carry for Henry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Airing it out deep for Smith. He's got a man, complete. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, Henry. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
Now it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right.
He's got the tight end Ferkser right side complete.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their route.
That'll be caught by Brown. Touchdown, Tennessee.
A.J. Brown with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it,
now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jeffrey Simmons in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Trask. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Jeffrey Simmons racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here comes Grant on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
92 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Check 25, check 25.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Jeff Smith, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Titans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-0.
Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open.
What a connection there for the touchdown.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make?
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again.
He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Watson off play action. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Watson on first down. flushed out right. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up.
Open man Julio. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half.
And the Titans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead will swell by 1 more.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Second half begins with a run by Henry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
114 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll run it again with Henry.
And this is going to be a Titans first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
And Derrick Henry with the ball in his hands, what a sight to behold, because power and speed involved in every touch for him. Coming off another spectacular season with the Titans, he became the first since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 and 2007 to win 2 straight rushing titles, and he did it with style, too. Just the 8th man to top 2,000 yards and the first since Adrian Peterson in 2012. He has his sights set on another 2,000-yard season.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Again to Henry. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Henry again on second down.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Watson now to throw. Buying time to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year.
And the Titans take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more.
And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Jeffrey Simmons in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. They hand this off to Harris. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Let's take it inside his own 40. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Henry.
152 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket, no. Here comes the flag. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
But no surprise coming off a 2,000-yard season. It was Derrick Henry who totaled the most yards after contact in the NFL last year, and he's up to his old tricks here.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this one is incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back now in Pittsburgh. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. And they'll throw again. Here's Trask. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Now Trask. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Harold Landry able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Steelers send out their punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Derrick Henry. Broken tackle. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Wow, 204 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. A gain of 6 there on first.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
Trash throw there, hauled in by Claypool.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. First down, Trask. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on second down, Trask. He gets this one to Johnson. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Watch the screen. Pass.
On 1st and 10, Trask. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Jeffrey Simmons, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as